spawning in the bottom right here of our map. It is actually CTL Team 6's captain. It is our Protoss player in orange. It's Ray. And his opponent in the top left in teal from Guns on Roaches. Also a Protoss player. This is Neru. Alright, so a PvP on a two-player map can always be a little bit frightening. Just trying to get to, well, anywhere that's not the first 10 minutes of the game. So both players are going to have to look out for these situations where you have some sort of cheese coming away. And so scouting is going to be very, very important in this game. It's really, really difficult to get through a game, especially in this kind of a situation where these games are best of ones, except for the ace matches. It's a best of 3, but all the other games are best of ones. You know your opponent, you know who your opponent is early on in the week. You can prepare for them as much as you so please. So you can tailor your map, you can tailor your build to the map you're playing on and to the player you're playing on. Even so, seeing these kind of early cheeses is not really surprising, especially in this league. But generally, people do tend to go macro games. So we'll have to wait and see what these players decide to do. It's going to be a while before we figure anything out. It's going to kind of depend on the gases and when they are taken. Neru actually, he skipped a probe there, I guess, to get an earlier. Actually, this was an early gate. That was a 10 gate. Now that I think about it. Problem being, I think Ray did the same thing. So this will be interesting. Ray's gas is a little bit slower than Neru's. But both players will be going for earlier just ground units. Only on 14 supply right now, and both players' gateways are finishing up here. So both players looking to get aggressive early on. Maybe only with just a quick gateway research into just a bunch of zealots, which usually you don't see against Protoss necessarily, since the Mothership Core does exist. It is kind of a nice thing. So both players still just setting themselves up for whatever the heck they're going to do. Chrono Boost coming out on this first unit here for Ray. It is going to be his first Zealot. No units just yet for Neru. He's decided to skip actually making any units with this early gateway. So if Ray does go for some sort of early push, this is going to be intriguing. First Zealot is out here for Ray. Chrono is still going on this gateway, but the Cyber Core does finish up here, so gateway will restart researching a Stalker. Both players going to be getting out some units finally. Neru going for a Sentry actually first, rather than any sort of damage dealing unit. He's got a lot of Chrono saved up. He's already used one of them on his gateway research. So still, this is kind of just a weird opening from both players. A second Stalker is on the way for Ray as well. His first Stalker is moving across the map, going to be joining up with this Zealot out in the middle of the map already. With only one Sentry right now, and no other tech chosen just yet, which just seems like there's going to be tech here in a second. Yes, indeed. We actually do have tech. Heck, I just realized that there. That's why that was looking confusing. Apparently I hit a hotkey that was hiding all this, but there's a robot facility. So that's going to happen. So this early robot facility, but he's only up into its 3 early gateways here. This gateway research is going to be done relatively quickly, so this is definitely a big pressure build of a probe moving out on the map here for Ray. He's looking to get a lot of damage done very, very quickly, and against this really light on the units opener from Neru, this has a chance to do a lot of work. There are going to be 2 sentries out, at the very least, and the opportunity to start making some Immortals as well, but there's no Mothership Core. Neither player actually has a Mothership Core right now. That Mothership Core is just a godsend to Heart of the Swarm. It's still actually not happening. Neru had a probe out on the map, but it doesn't look like he actually saw anything. I think it was rallied directly to the watchtower, so he may have an idea that something is coming his way. He is chronoing out an Immortal. He does have a second gateway finished up, so he's going to have 2 gateways as well as this Robo Facility. He's going to rely on his force fields really to do the bulk of his defense right now, because that's all he really has. 3 gateways switching over here for Ray, and he's going to start warping in a bunch of units here, a bunch of Stalkers, I imagine, just straight up going for Stalkers and seeing what he can get done. First Immortal is already out, and that Immortal, as well as the second one, on the way. So long as this force field is actually on point, which it is not. He gets directly on top of the units, but I think Ray actually attacked his own Stalker there momentarily, and Ray, this is not looking great for him. Actually gets force fielded in as well, so these 2 units are also going to be lost. And Neru, with just early sentries, looks like he's going to be able to hold this very, very easily. And now he's got this massive, massive tech advantage. You have one Immortal out already. A second one's going to be joining here in a moment. If Neru just starts dumping all of his effort into getting out a lot of Immortals, he can push across the map and just absolutely destroy Ray. Ray actually going for a Stargate of all units. I guess, well, Immortals don't shoot up, so if he goes for Void Rays, that could be helpful. There isn't a whole lot that's going to be able to deal with a lot of Void Rays, but I'm not sure if Neru is going to let that happen. He needs to get a probe on the map for reinforcements. He's actually making a Nexus behind this. Almost kind of unnecessary. There is no Mothership Core still. Just a lot of Zealots and a couple Stalkers here for Ray. Even Supply blocked is Ray because Neru is moving across the map with all these units, taking out those pylons that were proxied, and Ray is in a kind of a world of hurt right now. He's already lost over 1,000 resources this early on in the game, and he's only got a few units out to try to stop this push that is coming. He does see that it is on its way, but he's got absolutely no sentries, no Mothership Core. Void Ray is going to be chronoed out, but this may not actually be enough. Neru actually hallucinating the Phoenix to get up there. Now Neru is on top of all these Zealots. He's going to go ahead and force field half of those Zealots out and take those out. Decently microed here by our Teal Protoss player. He's going to take out these two Zealots. And now what does remain? If this Void Ray gets out, that's actually going to probably push us away for now. And yeah, looks like Neru's just going to run back home. So this is going to turn into an economy-based game. I guess upon seeing the Stargate, he thinks that he needs to actually defend back home for an Oracle, but it's actually going to be just a Void Ray, so he doesn't necessarily need to defend with all these Stalkers sitting here in the mineral line at the moment. Mothership Core has finished up. It's not going to have energy for an overcharge for a while, and Ray is probably going to try to do damage again. He's still warping in units. He's also still kind of making some probes at the same time, though. So it's kind of hard to get an exact read on what Ray wants to do, but I doubt he's going to have an expansion for a while. Rebel Bay on the way here for Neru. His natural nexus is finished up. If this Mothership Core actually manages to get the energy at once, that'll be great for him, but the probe may have caught a peek of all these things come in, but 3 Stalkers actually ahead of the game. The overcharge early, whatever that is, the Empower goes down on the Void Ray before he actually gets in. All the Zealots get force fielded off. Void Ray goes down very easily. A couple more Zealots getting force fielded in. And yeah, once again, Ray just kind of plummeting in supply over and over and over. And now he is in a massive, massive disadvantage. There he goes. He's going to call GG there. Guns N' Roach is going to take a quick 1-0 lead here in this best of 9 series.